What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you come into the channel. Check out the content. And with that being said, I want to speak on Steve Smith, right? And Steve Smith has been trending because he had an alleged affair with a young lady who was married. And she worked with the Baltimore Ravens. I think she was like either on a cheer squad or like a band member, something like that. I think she was a band member, and he had an affair with her, right? And so the husband of the woman had receipts and everything. He's been posting receipts all on social media, and also he also recorded a short conversation between him and Steve Smith, and where Steve Smith just said, he just asked Steve Smith what he had to say for himself, and Steve Smith said sorry. But the thing about it is, I think that Steve Smith is probably mainly sorry because he got caught. I don't think, and I think, people, not just athletes or entertainers, but I think people do this all the time. And in this situation, the blowback for Steve Smith is going to be significant, right? Because, like I said, this guy is going out on social media and putting Steve Smith on blast. Now, you know, like usually, men probably don't do this a lot because of the embarrassment. Like nobody wants to, they don't want to blast the fact that their wife is out there cheating and sleeping with somebody else. So a lot of times they're not going to blast it, right? But I think the reason why this guy is blasting Steve Smith publicly is because of he want to do some damage to his. He know that Steve Smith is married and has 4 children, so he blasting him publicly. Well, is definitely going to put some strain on Steve Smith's relationship with his wife and his kids, and so that's why mainly what I think why Steve Smith is sorry about this situation. Because you hear stories all the time about entertainers or I'm sorry, or mainly athletes who sleep around or get caught sleeping around, and it really don't they really don't worry about the situation unless there's going to be some blowback. You know, so if Steve Smith was not in his marriage, if his marriage had any kind of cracks or any kind of chinks in that situation, this right here will just give his wife enough, if she wanted to, enough ammunition and enough reason to just say, well, that's it. You know, I'm not going to deal with this, especially when you embarrass somebody publicly. She could just take this and just run with it. You know, even if they have a prenup, and most of the time the prenups have like a cheating clause. Whereas if one of the parties get caught cheating, then the prenup, especially the man, like if the man get caught cheating, then the prenup is no good, is out the window. So if it was that type of situation, then she'll have leverage that away. So she definitely will have leverage that away, and she'll have leverage with the kids. Kids most of the time do not appreciate their mother being embarrassed publicly, or hurt in any kind of way. And so that will definitely affect his relationship with the kids. You know, so that's another win for her. Then on top of that, like publicly, like she just has everything as a wife. She has everything on her side, and so that's why I think that like the blowback for Steve Smith is something that he probably didn't think about when he started, this affair. He probably didn't, not only, or he may not even cared about like what it was going to do to the other, to that man's family, you know. But now that the situation is to the point where this guy can throw a wrench into Steve Smith's situation, his family, um, this is going to add some stress, some definitely some stress to Steve Smith, relationship. You know, and so that's what I think the main part is. Like, this guy don't want to be, you know, he just wanted to hurt Steve Smith the same way Steve Smith hurt him, and you know, so he went public. I remember uh, a few years ago, I read an article about Reggie Miller. You know, Reggie Miller used to play for the Indiana Pacers, and he had a neighbor that he was flirting with all the time, and she was married, and so she told her husband that, you know, Reggie Miller he was always flirting, and he wouldn't just, you know, she explained to him that she was married, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He just kept on flirting, you know, because sometimes I guess people can be aggressive, or he think that maybe, you know, he was gonna persuade her, but they got mad, and the husband took out he had an airplane fly around with, you know, one of those like banners on it that just said that Reggie Miller tried to steal my wife or something like that, just to embarrass, you know, Reggie Miller. And sometimes, you know, because of those athletes, that's what it take. You know, you gotta either put them on the spot and embarrass them, or, you know, and a lot of times people are not in a position to do that. But this guy right here, um, you know, the man was, you know, he had the money, and he put Reggie Miller on blast. This guy right here did the same thing to Steve Smith. He put Steve Smith on blast, you know, and that's what happened, you know. And so now we want to, you know, everybody's going to see what happens from here on out. And I don't know if this could even affect Steve Smith Senior, his job, you know, where he work at, if this, you know, not a bad look for him as far as on his job. I know that Ime Udoka, that situation caused the issue with him, but Steve Smith is no longer, like, he's not working with him, play for the Ravens anymore. And so he works for the NFL, but he don't work for you know, directly for the Ravens. So I'm not sure if this will affect his money, you know. Um, so that remains to be seen. I don't think it should. I don't think it will. I just think that this is going to cause some issues for him at home, you know, as far as like with his wife and his kids, and then her family, you know, her girlfriends will probably be chiming, and this situation just could get so ugly. And yeah, man, this is ugly. And like I said, the only reason why I think that he is Steve Steve Smith Senior is press, you know, is because of the blowback. You know, I think because of the blowback, that's mainly why, you know, um, he's sorry. But other than that, you know, I'm sure he really wasn't really thinking about this guy's family, um, or what effect it would have on the guy's family, you know, because when you see the text messages and stuff like that, I mean, they just those text messages that those two he was sending back and forth, you know, the wife was sending him, and he was sending back and forth to the wife, was pretty explicit. And obviously, you know, it went on for a while. So, like I said, you know, that people don't really think about what, you know, the consequences are until they get caught up in this type of situation. And you know, but I don't know. Hopefully, both couples will be able to, you know, come to some type of resolution. I don't know if they'll be interested in working out the situation. Well, the guy said he's not even going to try to work his situation out with his wife. You know, I think because this is not her first time. Allegedly, this is not her first time, you know, stepping outside of the marriage. So he's I don't think he's even interested in working this situation out. So, but that it still remains to be seen what Steve Smith and his wife will do, you know, and will he be able to get around, you know, how he's going to work this, explain this situation to his kids, you know. And so yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, that's, you know, he made that bed, so I guess he got to sleep in it. Um, that's my take on the situation. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, leave a comment. And with that being said, I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.